podcast. So hopefully you have a chance to watch some of the ones I've done already. This one today is a little personal in that we're looking at the idea of consistency. Why? Because in a chaotic world, when things are nuts and there's all kinds of crazy chaos going on and stress levels are high and all the world is a little bit wild, we need consistency. So I look for consistency in different places. So I'm going to give you a couple different places that I find consistency, and I hope that you find your area, your groundedness, your ability to be like, this is what I want, this is what I need, and this is where I can find my consistency as well. So hopefully we'll be able to walk through that and guide each other and talk a little bit about that. So hopefully you're on here and ready to go. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing is that I want to let you know that consistency does matter. The idea of having things normal or ritualistic or the same over a period of time is good. Now, the same all the time is not great. But ultimately, we want to make sure that we are doing things in a normal, consistent manner. One of the places that I look for consistency is gardening. Why? Because guess what? There is a rhythm to gardening. There is a space the way the gardening works. And I will tell you right now, I'm a little bit on the stressed outside about my garden. And you know why? Because I'm being impatient. So impatience doesn't help consistency. So I need to step back, look at my yard, and say, hey, guess what? It is growing when it's going to grow. The soil is building. It is not the season yet. The seeds are in the ground. And I'm just waiting. And I'm waiting for the weather to come up, for it to be warmer, for all the things to happen. And that needs to happen. So I am really working hard at that. I love the idea of a seed in the ground, then growing into a plant, then harvesting the plant, eating off of the plant, and then when the plant is done, ripping the plant out, throwing it in my compost pile, letting it decompose and turn into soil, and the soil going right back onto plants the next season. Those things to me are very consistent. It's a way for me to understand the world, for me to say the plants are ready to be there. They're ready to be cared for and taken care of. I go out and I check on them. I make sure that they're weeded. I make sure that they have the nutrients they need, the sunlight, the water, and you're consistently taking care of the plants. Hello, Sarah. Is it Sarah Bum? I appreciate you guys being on here. So, yes, gardening is a huge thing for me, and the consistency of gardening is fantastic. Winemaking. I am way older than 21, but I will tell you the process of winemaking. Hello, great to have you. Is it Lala? It is. Winemaking is a great process for me. Why? Because you grow grapes. So you have to grow the grapes every year. Then you cut the grapes. When you cut the grapes in August, then you ultimately will then crush the grapes and you will uh, put them in a barrel. Now, once they're in the barrel, they're at rest. A good idea is that since they're at rest, you need to be at rest. So then once you put all that in, you do all the artwork, you create the product, and you put it in the barrel, you have to then leave it and let it happen. So there's a faith to it. There's an ability that you think great things are coming and you hope great things are coming. Hello, is it Gabriella? Welcome. So ultimately, there's great things coming, and so you're putting that in the wine barrel, and then when you take it out of the wine barrel, you're putting it in the bottle. When you put it in the bottle, you then let people taste it, and once you get the tasting, then they get to tell you whether it worked or not. So all of those things are a ritualistic process that happens every year. Hello, good to have you guys here. So ultimately it is a fantastic way of being, and then that happens every year, and every year it's different because the conditions are different, the weather's different. So in winemaking, it does tell you you need to be aware that there are other things that you have to be careful of, pest pressure, things like that, weather, extreme weather. Well, in life it's kind of like that too. If there's extreme things happening, then your consistency is off. If there's extreme things happening, then your balance is off. Same thing in the gardening world and in the wine world and in all the other places. So you have to make that happen. Songwriting. So songwriting, when you build a song and you're building all the things that you need to build, you're creating poetry. So you need to find out what kind of song. Then you need to sit down and build and write and free write, and then you're putting emotion into it or feelings into it. Then you have the layer of the music onto it, and then you start collaborating and working with other artists. If you don't do it on your own, if you're not a solo songwriter, then you then layer that on, and then you bring in how do you produce it? Where do you go play it at? And each time there is a rhythm from the point of we have an idea of a song to the release of the song to letting the song go out in the public and to the response to the song and the feeling and all things that go with it. And then you'll have that up cycle. Everybody will love it. They'll have a great time. And then it will come down again and you'll start a new song. So there's this life cycle to songwriting. There's a life cycle to musicians, and when they tour, they'll tour really hard in certain times of the year and then they kind of calm down and then they go back up again. So there's this up and down when it comes to it. I'm from the college ranks, the college world, and I taught college for a long time and I teach school. So school is very much cyclical. Why? Because you know at the beginning of the school year it's going to be wild. So at the beginning of the school year, all your professors are going to they're going to ease you in and they're going to give you just a little bit. They're going to ease you and give you just a little bit to work on, right? And then in the middle of the semester, they're going to start crushing you with everything they can give to you because they're like due dates are coming, all the projects are working on, and then it starts to slow down a little bit. And in the third a week, about 12 or 15, because then we're starting to turn everything in, and then at the very end we throw you off a cliff, and that is finals week, which is absolutely kind of nutsy. Thank you for all the smiley faces. I appreciate it. So ultimately, when that happens every semester. So it's not even every year. It's every 18 weeks that happens. And there's a rhythm to it. And if you become a college student and you know the rhythm, you know it's coming, you know that first part is going to be easy, then the middle part is going to be hard, midterms, the third part is going to start to get easier, and then the finals week is going to be extreme, and then you're going to get a break for a little bit. And that's kind of happens for Christmas break, that happens for summer break, and we're coming up on graduation here in Norman, Oklahoma. So ultimately at OU, they'll graduate. When that happens, they'll have the summer off, and then they'll go into whatever they do next. School years will start if you are a freshman, junior, or sophomore, or freshman, sophomore, or junior, then ultimately you will come back next fall. If you are a senior, you're graduating, you're going into the workforce, you have to learn a new rhythm. My wife got a new job as an assistant professor at Mid-America Christian University, so we're learning her rhythm for the year, and we're learning what that looks like. So it's always learning what a rhythm in your job looks like. What does it mean and how does it work, and what is your year going to be like, so you can understand what you need at what time, and that's important. um Good. I am so glad you're graduating. Congratulations. That is really, really neat. And then relationships have a cycle. Now, the relationship cycle is a little interesting. So, as we're looking at relationships and we're looking at the ways relationships cycle, I don't mean that they come up, they are there, and then they die. That's not what I mean as a cycle when it comes to relationships. I mean, when you first start dating, when you first start getting together, you're doughy eyed. What that means is everything is wonderful. You want to spend every living moment with each other. Everybody's trying. You're hanging out all the time. You're like, I love you. No, I love you. And you make googly eyes at each other. You're going out all the time. Forget your friends. You just go out there and you're wanting to hang out all the time. Then a little bit later, you're going, well, we still like each other. We love each other and all that. But maybe we understand we needed some space. Maybe we understand that we need a little bit of other guidance. And that's important. I'm so glad. Congratulations. They got their green outfit ready for graduation. So ultimately, it is something that we really, really look at when it comes to relationships. You then learn more about each other. You are more connected. You know each other in a deeper way. So you may not have an extreme intensity, but ultimately you have a deep-seated love that is there, and then you work through some stuff, and you will have some struggles during that cycle. You will have some difficulties during that cycle, and you will be able to go through them together and have a person with you that fights with you, which is important. I think when you have the person that loves you and supports you and you guys fight together against whatever that is, that's great. It's if you fight with each other, there's a big old mess. You don't want to do that. So it can be a crazy mess when that happens. So I think relationships have a cycle. And then there's just the seasons. And the seasons are the most like cliche or kitschy things they'll talk about where it's going to be springtime, everything is bursting with life and it's coming out of the dark winter time. And then you have the summertime where it's hot and there's all kinds of things going on. All the fruit and vegetables are fantastic. Hello, is it Gabriella? So, I really, really like summertime because it's very warm. And it's very, very warm in Oklahoma, like hot. So we have to deal with that. And then we have the fruits and vegetables. We have melons, and so you have watermelons and cantaloupe and all of that. And then the next thing that happens is it Darren Johns. Welcome. Yeah. If your relationship cycle's a week or a month, yeah, that can be a problem. So yeah, hopefully it's longer than a little bit longer than a weekend or a month. So but if you're just having like a short term burst relationship, yeah, it can be a little bit different. So then there's summertime. Then of course fall. Fall is fantastic because after summer and it's been hot for so long, you're ready for it to kind of cool off, and you get pumpkin season and pumpkin spice season and all the fall foods that we like. And then it's winter time, and of course I'm a Christmas person, so I love the Christmas season. And then you have January. January is not my most favorite. I appreciate it because I have to rest, but I don't like it because it's also just kind of it's the letdown after the holiday season, which I really like. So there's that. Hello, hello. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. Cool. Yeah, he's not lying as far as the school is concerned. I said, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know where that's at. But ultimately, he's they're taking care of you. Make sure you need to be careful sometimes. So the seasons are also important, and the way that we um, are looking at cycles and the now grounding. I'm gonna talk about grounding. Grounding's a little woo woo. I'll just tell you right now. Grounding is kind of a natural way of being connected to the earth. Ultimately, what it means is taking your shoes off and putting your feet on the ground. It means touching the plants. It means the energy, the positive and negative energy between you and the earth. And so you share that back and forth through your feet. You share that with touch. You share that with trees, the wind, and you're really just present and feeling what is happening. Whether it is the smell of the earth, it is the feel of the trees, it is all the things around you, it is the coolness of the soil, it is the amazing opportunities you have to be one with nature. And that is a great way to get your body centered and to get your mind centered and to have you ready to do the next thing and to be there. So, hopefully, this has been helpful. These are several different ways that deal with consistency. You will also find, if you watch my network, that I have channels that are based on pretty much all of these. So if you're like, I don't know what a gardening cycle looks like. I don't know what a wine cycle looks like. I don't know what, songwriting looks like. I have channels on all of that. So you can go in and you can check those out and watch videos on that and really see if that works for you. You also can watch other videos that I've done and learn things. I think learning is important always. I think we should always be learning and challenging and figuring things out. You guys, I really appreciate you being on here. You're amazing. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the network so you can know when my next one comes up. Um, It'll be Tuesdays, but I don't know what it will look like because again, my son, this is his last appointment here, so I'll just be sitting in my car in my driveway maybe. So that might happen. So ultimately, we'll figure out how this looks and what this looks like after this week. I'll make sure it's Tuesday. I'll make sure it's around 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we'll make that happen. So you guys are amazing. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, and check out the rest of my Car Chat podcast, and I will see you again next week.